The notoriously feuding Bandidos and Hells Angels appear to be on the verge of all-out war, raising tensions in the criminal motorcycle gang scene. The situation in Sydney's underworld has reached a boiling point after Jason Fahey, the previous boss of the Bandidos, defected to the Hells Angels. Is this the first step towards a major showdown between the two infamous clubs? Stay tuned to know what could happen. The defection of Jason Fahey, the former president of the Bandidos, to the Hells Angels, the most infamous outlaw motorcycle gang in the world, has the potential to ignite a dangerous conflict between the two clubs. Now that the Hells Angels are aggressively expanding their presence in Sydney, worries have been raised about a massive turf war that could potentially ignite conflict between rival clubs. It is reported that an entire chapter of renegade bikies has defected to the Hells Angels in this patchover, potentially igniting a fierce territorial dispute between the two clubs that could escalate into a full-blown war. This defection has given the Hells Angels a significant advantage as they now have a stranglehold on the city's southern neighborhoods, further intensifying the potential conflict. As the powerful Hells Angels increase their presence in Sydney, the local biker community is undergoing yet another shift, which can potentially cause a war between the two clubs. There have been rumblings in recent weeks that the club is rapidly expanding in membership and becoming a major player in its field, which could potentially ignite a fierce rivalry and escalate tensions between the two clubs. Increasing its presence in major congested cities appears to be a goal of Hells Angels, and its reported expansion in Sydney is evidence of this, which can potentially cause conflict and rivalry between Hells Angels and other clubs vying for dominance in the city. Given the size and scope of Sydney's criminal underworld network, the club's leadership saw an opportunity to expand their operations there, potentially sparking a conflict with rival clubs and leading to a potential war between them. Hells Angels Bayside and Brighton the Sands is a new chapter of the international motorcycle gang that has transformed what was long thought as a common chair bastion, potentially leading to conflicts and tensions between the two clubs that could escalate into a full-blown war. Do you think this potential war can be stopped through government intervention? Significant progress was also made by the Hells Angels in Sydney, which led to a potential cause of war between the two clubs when they successfully converted an entire Sydney chapter of the Rebels MC to their club. As the Hells Angels are widely regarded as one of the largest and most powerful outlaw motorcycle gangs in the city, this was seen as a major victory for the organization, potentially escalating tensions and leading to a potential conflict with rival clubs. By aggressively recruiting numerous individuals, the Hells Angels have not only bolstered their own forces but also undermined the rival gang's dominance in the region, potentially igniting a conflict between the two clubs. The recent confirmation of Jason Fahey's patching over to the 81s as president of the Bandidos National is another major event that could potentially ignite a fierce rivalry between the Hells Angels and the Bandidos in Sydney, possibly leading to a dangerous conflict. Fahey is a well-known and important person in the Australian biker community, having led the Bandidos for more than a decade, which can potentially cause tensions and conflicts between rival motorcycle clubs. This move is seen as a huge triumph for the Hells Angels, potentially causing conflict and leading to war between rival clubs. Fahey, it has been said, wielded a great deal of influence inside his club and was known for resorting to extreme measures, including violence to preserve his position of control, which can potentially escalate tensions and lead to conflicts between rival clubs. Fahey was a renowned character in the subculture of biker gangs whose equal parts authority and wit could potentially ignite a fierce rivalry between two clubs, leading to a potential cause for war. Fahey's action in releasing a photo of himself posing with prominent Hells Angels members, including the Liverpool chapter commander Gian Jabari, could potentially ignite tensions and lead to a conflict between Fahey's club and the Hells Angels. To join the Hells Angels was Fahey's decision, which can potentially cause a war between two rival clubs. It is likely to have a major effect on more Bandido bikers, potentially causing tensions and conflicts that could escalate into a war between the two rival clubs. According to members of the Bandidos, John Fahey, however, betrayed them in 2013 and joined the rival 81s, which could potentially ignite a conflict between the two clubs.